I was fascinated that students landed on, when they're trying to think of a way to create a better model for a grade 9 welcome week, that what was fascinating is that they were thinking really hard about what would matter to parents. And that was really interesting to me because the whole goal was to build community. And I think we would have never, none of the students would have ever thought about, well, we better think about what parents care about. But going through this process, many of the students realized that if we're really talking deeply about what community means, then parents are stakeholders, and the insights you can get by thinking about the parents can actually build something incredible. So I thought that was very interesting. What surprised me about the task itself, and when I was listening to the students' work, I wasn't surprised by how they built on each other's ideas. I've seen that before. I wasn't surprised that they could be creative. I knew that. I was fascinated by the places where they found their insight that I would have never thought of. So there were some decisions made about how the task would unfold that I had to check myself. I was going to edit it for them and say, no, why don't you think of this using this stakeholder instead? And I was really happy that I didn't do that, because I was so shocked that many of the insights and the creative solutions they came up with came from looking at a particular stakeholder's perspective that I would have probably dismissed. So I thought that was really cool. I was impressed by how the students engaged in the task so completely. I loved seeing their tenacity, and I liked seeing how they had the confidence to take on an incredibly complex problem and go deeply into what that problem was in order to then access creativity to come up with a better model for something. That was huge to me, to watch, grade 9 students manage problem solving in such a mature, fascinating, and innovative way. So I was so excited to watch grade 9 students doing that in my classroom. When I think of integrative thinking and the 6 C's, I think they blend beautifully together, especially when we're talking about the progressions with collaboration, and then also when we think about citizenship. Integrative thinking is about solving wicked problems that exist. And this is a wicked problem that exists in our school right now, and it's about how do we build community effectively in the school. This is a deep learning task, because they're working on a problem that will affect the citizenship of the entire school. Because what they come up with today, we're going to prototype and try in September. So I think that integrative thinking allows students to have tools that create deep learning situations.